All right, so it's official. RFK Jr. has endorsed Donald Trump for president. So I got to tell you, I didn't see this coming. I'm really surprised by it. RFK's a little bit of a mix. He has some progressive ideas or perspectives he talks about or policies he likes, but he also has a lot of libertarian attitudes and whatnot. So he's a little bit of a mix. I actually was kind of interested in him at a certain point when it was Trump and Biden. I was looking at him. I thought he was very interesting, and I was interested in some of the things he had to say. So I kind of wanted to see where his campaign would lead. I didn't think it would lead here. A little surprised about that. He says that he's going to drop out of 10 swing states. He would actually end up hurting Trump if he stays on, and he's going to stay in the rest of the states. It's a little confusing there. So he's not officially ending his campaign. He's just suspending it.
Our polling consistently showed that by staying on the ballot in the battleground states, I would likely hand the election over to the Democrats, with whom I disagree on the most existential issues: censorship, war, and chronic disease. Oh, I want everyone to know that I am not terminating my campaign. I am simply suspending it and not ending it. My name my name will remain on the ballot in most states.
You can definitely see his intention. His intention is, of course, clearly stated now: to hurt the Democrats, to prevent Kamala Harris from being president. That's his number one goal. He said that pretty clearly. And so he's now endorsing Trump. And make that of what you will. Some of you will love that. Some of you won't. I got to tell you, I do wonder how long this has been going on, these plans. I know that he said something about speaking what Trump called him after the assassination attempt. Apparently they spoke about forming some sort of unity ticket or having some sort of coming together. I do think on some level it was always the goal of the Kennedy campaign to hurt the Democrats more. I do kind of think that was always his goal, was to take more from Biden than Trump. Of course, now it's Harris. Of course, we know about the quid pro quo. So basically, RFK's endorsement for Trump, and Trump will give him a position, perhaps with HHS, which is Human Health and Services, or a leadership position in food or agriculture. It seems to be the direction they're going with this. I say that because if you listen to his speech, he did speak at length about chemicals in food and the effect of it on our bodies and the health of people and obesity and the health of children. And
was having safe food and ending the chronic disease epidemic. Our children are now the unhealthiest, sickest children in the world. Don't you want healthy children? And don't you want the chemicals out of our food? And don't you want the regulatory agencies to be free from corporate corruption?
He does clearly state his goal is to get harmful chemicals out of food. So there is a lot there that I do like. I think it's very good that somebody's talking about that. Harmful things in food, whether it's harmful additives or chemicals and whatnot. So I like that. I think it's in Europe. They actually ban a lot of different harmful substances that in America they allow. So I think that's a positive thing. I don't love his comments about Ukraine. I think the Ukraine cause is noble. I support them 100% to have their independence and to repel Russia's aggressive invasion. Without the West's help, Russia probably more than likely would have taken Ukraine by now. So I don't love this idea of ending aid to Ukraine that is very popular in the right-wing online circles and online personalities. RFK repeated it again.
Said he didn't want any more $200 billion wars in Ukraine, that we could use that money back here in the United States.
That he definitely wants to end aid to Ukraine. J.D. Vance has even had a comment about how he wants to end aid to Ukraine day one. So I don't love that. So I think it's a noble cause, and I want to help them defeat the Russian invasion. I think it's awful what's happened, and I support their right to fight for democracy and all of that. So to go to this endorsement and the effect it's going to have, so RFK, his support was around 9 or 10% or more, even higher at times. It has dipped. It has been declining. So now it's more around 4 or 5%, depending on the state. So the battleground states, not really sure which ones they mean. Because I don't know if they've actually explicitly said quite yet. But it seems like the swing states would probably be Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Wisconsin. So just to give you an idea of the effect this could have on the election, I want to go through some of them. I'll give you a crucial state right now, Arizona. Okay, Arizona. This is the Real Clear Politics average of polls recently, and I'd say the last month or so. You're looking at Harris is up by about less than a point, 45 to 44. Kennedy is polling about 5 to 6%, so 5.8% is the average, right? Of Kennedy's supporters, of that 5 or 6% or whatnot, if 0.5% or 1% goes to Trump, that could easily flip that state. You on to the next one. Nevada. Trump is up, very close race, 45 to about 43. Kennedy is about 5% there as well. Again, same thing. If 0.5 or a percent go to Trump, that could solidify his lead there. You go to Wisconsin. Harris is a very slim lead, about 1.5 there. Kennedy's pulling about 5% again. Same story. Michigan. Michigan's another close state. Harris and Trump are about 2 or 3% apart. And Kennedy's polling at almost 6%. So that's a little more of a breathing room for Kamala there. I don't know if that would be enough to flip the state to Trump, but it's a possibility. Pennsylvania is another one. Harris 46%, Trump 44%, about 2%. Kennedy not getting quite as much there, maybe 4 to 5% or so. In these razor-thin margins, every little bit counts. And this state, Kamala does need. She has to win Pennsylvania. If Trump wins Pennsylvania, then that's probably the election. Kamala needs that state. Georgia, very close. Trump is barely up by a little less than 2 points. Kennedy not polling too great there, but he's pulling 4%. Again, if even 0.5% go to Trump, that could be the difference. Virginia is surprisingly close. Kennedy has a lot of support in Virginia. He's polling anywhere from 6 to 7% of Virginia. Kamala only has a 3 or 4 point lead on the averages anyway in Virginia. So that is actually a big deal. If Trump could pull, a full percentage from RFK support, that could help, close the gap there. I still think Kamala will probably win Virginia, but it just shows you that it definitely could make it closer, make a difference. Yeah, in closing thoughts, I do think this matters. I think it matters more than some other pundits I've heard. Some people are acting like this doesn't matter. Who cares? I disagree. A lot of people in this country, a lot of independents did like Kennedy. A lot of them were supporting his campaign. And there absolutely will be a lot of supporters that flip to Trump now because of this. So it very well could make the difference in some of these key states. Will it matter overall for the presidency? I'm not going to go that far quite yet, but I will say that if Trump does win, I think that this will be a big reason why. I will say that. In terms of the quid pro quo, I'm a little surprised Kennedy went with it. I wouldn't trust Trump. Whether you like Trump or not, I think he's pretty clear he's going to do what he wants to do. So I wouldn't really trust his word on anything, to be honest with you. And in fact, you look at his first term, Trump put a lot of corporatists in office. He was very much a corporatist president. He did not govern like a populist. In 2016, he ran a populist campaign. He had a lot of populist messaging. He didn't do it. It's like I've heard him make comments recently about getting rid of the income tax or things like that. Okay, that sounds great, right? Is he actually going to do that if he's president? Probably not, But to be fair, both sides say those type of things. That's just part of politics 101. So they're going to make promises that they're not going to keep. I got to say the energy is definitely going with the Trump campaign right now with the rally that they had. That was a big time rally. A lot of excitement because of the Kennedy endorsement.
I've known him for so long. For the past 16 months, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
They welcomed him in like a rock star and gave him the treatment. A lot of excitement there and a lot of energy. So I tell you, this 2024 presidential race is really interesting. A lot of twists and turns. You see a lot of energy on the Democrat side with Walz coming in and a lot of excitement with the DNC. And then you have an excitement now on the Trump campaign again with the Kennedy endorsement. So going to be interesting to see where it heads up. I think we got the debate coming up and going to be a lot more twists and turns. That's for sure. Thanks for listening and y'all take care.